No matter what kind of projects you have around the shop, if you're looking for some tips and help, it's time for Sam's Garage, presented by Lund International, with Sam Memmolo and Sam Memmolo.
All right, as you can see, Sam's already cleaned this block. Remember, KBS, clean, blast, and seal. The cleaner is a degreaser. This is the blast. This is like an etching primer. It leaves a zinc finish, helps to paint it here real well. Follow the directions. You can brush it on, you can spray it on. You want to let it do its job. Leave it on 15, 20 minutes, half hour in a bad situation if you got really bad metal. But again, just keep it wet, don't let it dry. Then we'll hose it off, follow the instructions. When it dries, leaves a nice zinc finish, the paint will really stick to it. So just put it on any way you're going to paint, keep it wet.
We do some crazy builds at my shop. A lot of high dollar bills. And we got a customer that I'm building him an LS motor for. And that motor is black and he wants Chevy orange. So I said, no problem. Instead of just using any spray on paint, I decided to do something that's long lasting and will look good for a long, long time. So I went to KBS Coatings, which stands for Clean, Blast, and Seal. And what it is basically a three-part system that uses a cleaner that goes on and completely dissolves any oily residue that may be on the block. You put this on first and you want to spray it off, take your time. It's all about the prep work. Use a pressure washer if you've got some, if you've got one, and do a good job there. Then when the engine is completely degreased and you know that there is no residue on the engine whatsoever, we're going to use the rust blast, and that basically etches the motor. And that is a really dirty job, and I didn't want to do it, so I had Sam do that outside.
You ready to do some painting?
Yeah, but before we do some painting, you guys make sure you cover up your pretty floor because you're going to spill some. So get something, put it underneath your motor, and cover up your floor.
I wouldn't need that, but that's okay. You should have it.
Well, you know what? I'm not as perfect as you are, so let's give it a shot, see what happens.
You can see, let me show them a little bit here. The blast leaves this like a zinc behind it. And this zinc right here, this coating, that's what helps to keep the paint stuck to it, okay? All right, let me see your skill level here, buddy. Let's see how you do.
What do you think? Am I doing good or what?
Well, we'll see.
Look
You
at that.
can't go wrong with this. By the way,
Like a
KBS
regular Picasso.
engine enamel is self-leveling. You can brush it on, you can spray it on, whatever you want to do. Now, you get a box like this. This is the motor coater kit. In the box, you get the enamel, the color you choose, and like I said, they have metallics. Now, the metallics, you got to spray on. So they even include some of their thinner if you want to thin it down for your spray gun. But you get the cleaner, the blast, the enamel, and of course, you get the thinner. And they've got almost 40 colors. They got all the engine colors, you know, Chevrolet blue, Ford blue, Chevrolet orange, black. They got metallics. So you can do a really nice job.
Huh?
I bet you did pretty good in school in artwork.
Not bad in school, you know?
Taking you forever.
Yeah, but you want to do a really good
Both sides of this
job.
block done and be ready to go.
Yeah, but it's going to look better because my eyes are newer, so therefore it's going to look a little better when it's done.
Well, I can't see anyway, so I want people to see any of the flaws you have. So we're going to go ahead and coat this whole engine, and then we'll let it set up, see what it looks like when it's all done.
Not bad. How am I doing? Got a long ways to
You
go.
want a bigger brush?
No, I don't
That's
need
going
a
to
bigger
run
brush.
right there.
Yeah, I'm going to grab it.
Okay.
I'm going to go catch that run.
Well, buddy, I think your customer's going to like that. That looks really, really good.
Absolutely, not bad for a mechanic.
Nice job, and you can trim it out with all kinds of stuff. KBS has got all kinds of products. And you're familiar with their frame coater, which everybody uses, but they also have Extreme in an aerosol can. This is cast iron gray, great for trim parts. It's high temp. When you go to your parts store and you look at your high temp cans, it'll say 500 degrees. You can use this on headers. This will withstand over 1,200 degrees, not going to chip or peel. They got it in all kinds of colors, silver, platinum. It's a great product. You want to make your ride look good and have a color that lasts, paint that protects. What you need is KBS coatings. All right, we need to trim this pulley.
We will, but I think we may have enough to paint your truck with this stuff.
We could do it.
Not bad. Brand new Silverado. I think it'd look really good with some orange stripes down the side. What do you think?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Let's do it.
Whatever you say.
Sam's Garage, presented by Lund International, is being brought to you by Low Carb Performance Products. Quality, plain and simple. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. Brothers Truck Parts, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GM truck restoration. Bushwhacker, inventor of the fender flare. Welcome to the Brothers Truck Parts Workshop.
Bring this in. Okay, now we're putting our seat in, and you can see here we got our lap belts bolted to the floor and done right. And then this is where the 3-point, the shoulder part of it, is bolted up here. We left the reels loose at the bottom till we get the seat in and we can position the brackets. All right, Jim, let's go ahead and lay this in place. Oop. Ooh, my reel here. We're getting close, I think.
A little bit my way,
Come your way a little bit?
just a hair. There you go.
Sounded like it.
Yours needs to go back just a little bit. There you go, you're in. You
Yep.
should be.
Absolutely. Now, what a difference this seat makes
Wow.
over what we took out of here.
I mean, you saw the one we took out of here. The foam on it was destroyed. It looked like someone had lived on it for a year.
Well, 30 some odd, 40 years old, you know. Now,
And
the
this-
neat part is, if this looks great with this carpet, it's going to be much more comfortable than the seat the truck came with. It reclines, it's a split back. These are all custom made, right?
Yeah, this is, I mean, these are custom-made seats. They come in black with blue stitching, red stitching, white stitching. I mean, like you said, they're conform to the body shape, fit comfortable. I mean, you could drive for hours in this thing, not get tired.
Absolutely. Show them how you finished off. This is a nice piece for the carpets. Got this little stainless steel or aluminum trim. Those are nice.
Yeah, they turned out really good. I mean, they trim in the edge of the carpet. We put brand new pads on here, so brake pedal pad, gas pedal.
Right.
And this truck really, really looks sharp on the inside. We'll finish up a little bit on the dash, and this thing will be brand new.
Let's go ahead and put some door panels on. That door panel looks great. How are we doing with this?
Looks awesome. Yeah, you did a great job over there. I've already got this one kind of mocked up. I got the template already done, so we can get rid of this.
And what you do is you get this template in the kit, you tape it up there, and then you mark your holes and you drill your holes down, and that way, because this thing attaches with clips. All right?
Yep.
Ready to drill?
Make sure these are still good.
Put that one and that one. I'll hold the door here. You see what happened when that drill went through the sheet metal? It just pulled it through. Show them what you did there to prevent it.
Now, that was a good trick that Sam had for me. This is just a regular piece of fuel hose. And that drill bit, long enough, you probably end up putting a ding in the outside of the door. So slide a little piece of fuel hose on there, leave a little bit of the bit showing there, and it makes it so you don't have to worry about getting all the way through that panel.
Okay, you already drilled a hole here, huh?
Yep. So
Okay.
we've got the hole here. It's already done. And that's going to be where we're going to hook up our custom door pull.
Okay.
That way you're not grabbing onto the new door panel
Sure.
and using all your strength on the panel itself.
And you use these speed nut clips. There's one here from the factory. So you locate the hole, you drill it, move that over, and you're all set.
Pretty easy.
And here's our door panel.
All right. So this basically pops right on. This is a really easy setup.
Yep.
Lift that up. Line it up with the hole for the
Yep, get that
There you
through.
go.
Boy, that fits nice. Look at that. Okay. Thought you were gonna hit me there, huh?
I was for a second. You got lucky. Now on the bottom, it's got the little Christmas trees, so this is simple. You just pop them right in. It's in the hole,
Perfect.
just like that.
And if you look at this door panel, you know, it matches the seat, the texture, the blue stitching like is on the seat is on the door panel too. That's why they sell them as a kit, and it really does a nice job. Great. So you can see there's nothing to really dressing this truck up. You put in your door pull, a couple of screws into those holes in those speed clips we already made, and bingo. This side's done, isn't it?
Just like that. Simple,
right.
easy, looks really, really good.
Well, you know, here we go. We did the sound dampening, we did the insulation, the new carpet, the custom seat, the sill plate, pedal pads, door panels, door handles, it's all finished off real nice. Everything there. We're pretty much done with this truck, aren't we?
Absolutely, although I'd say they should probably jump in, do the dashboard, maybe put a new steering wheel on it. I mean, we've dressed it up so nice. Now we need a new steering wheel.
I know they want to put a tachometer kit in there. I'm gonna let the other team do it.
We'll let the B team step
Yep.
in.
It's an easy way to make your truck really nice.
This is the DS18 Project Supra.
All right, guys, today on our DS18 Supra project, we're going to be addressing the cooling system, and we're going to start by putting in the radiator. And what we want to do is make sure that the fans that come with the radiator get installed properly, and you put the felt on from behind. Now, this Mishimoto radiator I've been using for a number of years in my import applications, but they've also got a lot of domestic applications as well. I've even got one in my personal Ford Excursion. They do a really good job. What makes them different than everybody else is not only do they have a lifetime warranty, but they also have a collision warranty. If God forbid you guys go out and you're going to a car show and you wrecked your car, they'll actually cover the product once you've had it repaired, which is a really cool feature that I don't think anybody in the industry does. You also want to make sure that when you remove your package from you move your product from the package, you want to inspect it. We have a little bit of structure damage here. It's not going to affect our radiator, so we're going to go ahead and run with it. That's just something you have to deal with when it comes to custom work like this. And then also, you want to make sure that all your drain lines, your bungs, are going to be tight before you install your radiator. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of lube on our rubber mounts on the bottom, and then we can go ahead and put this guy in. All right, we're going to take it down, put it in its place, press it down, just like that. It's a pretty easy install. We're going to get our brackets, put them in place. We did get new ones in this case because this radiator looks so pretty, we didn't want to use the old brackets. So we went ahead and got new ones. All right, so that's the radiator. And then we can go on to installing our oil cooler. We're gonna take the car up in the air first. All right, guys, now we're gonna be installing our oil cooler. This oil cooler is very nice. It's got nice mounting flanges with it. It's got nice dash 10 AN lines with it. It's gonna do a good job of keeping the oil cool. And if you guys had automatic transmissions, you can put one for your automatic transmission as well. All right, now we're ready for our intercooler install. All right, guys, what we're gonna be doing here now is we're gonna be installing this awesome front mount, huge Mishimoto intercooler. Now, where they mount up to the car, there was some damage. And what I wanna do is reinforce this metal with some new metal. This piece was completely missing. This right here has a couple of holes in it and it's thin. So I've cut some metal, I'm gonna reinforce this area, and then we're gonna paint it, and that way we got something to mount our intercooler to, and it'll be nice and structurally sound. So let's get started. You wanna make sure to do this slowly so that you don't burn anything up, because the metal that I'm welding to is actually very thin. So we wanna go slow in order not to burn through. Now we can go on to the other side. When you're making 600 horsepower and you're going around corners really fast with our new suspension, we're going to need all the rigidity we can get. All right, that should work just fine. Now we'll let it cool down, spray some paint, and we're ready to mount our intercooler. All right, so we went ahead and installed the intercooler, keeping in mind that we've got good clearance around the body of the intercooler with the metal of the car. So we went ahead and shimmed our intercooler down in order to give us that clearance. The last thing we want to do is create a hole. Then we're going to go ahead and bolt up our bracket down below, and we will be ready to start making up some intercooler piping provided to us by Race Parts Solutions, and we'll be ready to shove some boost through this guy.
You know, Sam and I are having a great time walking around SEMA. We get to see some of the latest and greatest products. We're here in the Prevost booth, you know, the blue pipe that runs your air system. We know all about it. Your shop's plumbed, my shop's plumbed. It's great stuff. But now here's a new product for repairing air hoses.
Absolutely.
Here's a great way to go. Don't need any tools, you need no wrenches, no Teflon tape. What you have here is a coupler. You got a protector and a clamp. By the way, these things here, they have notches on them you can cut. It'll cover from 9/16 or 14 millimeter to 17 millimeter, 11/16 hoses. They have bigger sizes. So you slide that on, make sure you put your clamp there, make sure your hose is nice and square, and then position that clamp about halfway. Take your end nippers, that's all you need, okay? You give it a little squeeze about halfway, turn it over, do the other one all the way, then go back and finish this one. Nice and tight. Now, there's an arrow facing here. See, what you want to do is hold the hose, turn that, line the arrow with the arrow and the clamp, slide it up and over, make it all the way home, hold your hose, another arrow, turn it that way, it locks, and now you're protected. You don't cut yourself, you don't scratch the car. It's very lightweight, it's a great way to go.
Absolutely. It's got a strain protector built in. You don't cut your hands from the clamp, from the ears. You got a quick release. It's very nice.
Right, and it doesn't fly out. Prevost has got you covered. Just a great way to go with air hoses in your shop. Let's go find something else to do.
Yes, sir.
Sam's Garage, presented by Lund International, has been brought to you by DS18. We like it loud. Appalachian Tourism. Virginia is for lovers. HE&M Saw, the saw that cuts straight. Roll and Lock, the most advanced tonneau cover ever made.
You want to cool your car down between runs when you're drag racing? Take this car right here. We've been running it, now we need to work on it. We've got the Flex-A-Lite 1000 air mover. And I'll tell you what, this thing moves a lot of air. Very light, compact, got a handle on it, works in any position. You got 900 CFM of direct airflow. This is awesome, like I say, for drag racing. It's easy to pack, easy to carry. You can daisy chain them together. They have outlets on it so you can hook several together. It only draws 2 amps, so it's not going to be a problem. Think about at the track, all you're camping, you're under the awning on a hot day, set this underground, plug it in, keep you nice and cool. Very rugged, going to last for years. If you want a nice way to move air for whatever purpose you have, the Flex-A-Lite 1000 air mover, it's a great tool. Again, rugged, will last for years. It's just a great piece of equipment.
It's time for the Lund International Custom Shop.
All right, guys, I got Anthony from AMP Research to help me install these Powersteps, and he's going to tell us a little about the kit as well.
The kit comes with pretty much everything that you need. It comes with all the hardware. We got the linkages, the boards, the wire harness, the electrical. And what we're doing right now is we're installing one of the idler linkages.
This is a very nice linkage. What's it made of?
It's made from high-grade die-cast aluminum. It's got highly corrosion-resistant coatings on it. It's got stainless steel pivot pins. It's got high-grade bushings.
And how much weight could it handle?
600 pounds is what we rate it to.
That is awesome. All right, guys, we're about to install this step. Anthony, what's this made out of?
They're made out of high-grade aluminum extrusions. They're covered with a textured powder coat, which is slip-resistant and corrosion-resistant. We got these T-nuts here, which are
Infinitely adjustable.
Yep, these are the attachment points. You could slide them up and down.
You can really get that step where you want it to be.
And here's a good place for a tip. What I like to do is you run either your tool or the screw right through the lower mount, and you line it up with the T-nut up on the top before you start to drop it on. And that allows it to line right up.
And also be sure that you guys use proper torque when installing your hardware. The bolts that are going to go on the truck themselves are around 16 foot-pounds. These are smaller hex, and they're going to take about 10 to 12 foot-pounds. So you want to make sure not to crank down on your hardware and cause any problems in the future or strip any threads.
That's right.
And the hardware comes with thread sealer already on them, so they don't back out on you.
All right, so now it's time to install the harness and the controller. The controller is actually going to mount right here against the bar. The harness, we're going to attach it to the positive and the negative terminals of the battery. And so that's what we're going to do. One of the things I like to do to make it easier, because we've got to make sure that this connector engages with the controller, is you put it on ahead of time. Therefore, you push it all the way in. And make sure both of these locking tabs lock into place. You're going to hear a nice audible click. There they go.
Now, do you have any tips when installing these wires?
Yeah,
Because I noticed in the instructions it says there's a specific routing.
Yeah, you want to follow the specific routing that we give, because we make these harnesses specific to the vehicle, and if you get too liberal in how you route the harness and don't follow our instructions, you might come up a little bit short.
I'm going to run this right here to the left of this bracket, bringing it around down the side of the frame rail, and I'm pretty much just going to follow this big fat harness going down the left side of the truck, right?
Right.
Zip tying it along the way. All right, so we're pretty much ready to wire this thing up on this side as far as the lights go. And I'm going to use a little blaster brake cleaner just to get our surface nice and clean so that the 3M double stick tape adheres perfectly and gives us long-lasting service.
Right.
Okay. Then I want to strip the wires.
Also, before we actually stick it on, you're going to want to take the lights and just get an idea of where the lights are going to go before you did it. We already did this already, and we know the light's going to go right about here, but the instructions do show you to go just outside of this little ridge that you see in the sheet metal. And
you want to make sure to keep it on flat surface and don't put it on the ridge, because
don't put it on the ridge. Yeah, that ridge just gives you a nice area to line it up to. So you just do it just outside of it.
All right, guys, so what we did was install the trigger by drilling the hole, pulling the carpet back, used a 9/32 drill bit, and installed our trigger. And last, what we're going to do?
We put the fuse in place and
operate the steps.
That's it.
We're done. Very cool.
One thing you'll notice is that there's a little bit of a delay when the steps go up, and that's for when you open the door and you get out, you may want to get something from the back of the vehicle. So it gives you enough time to get to the back, get your stuff out, and then the steps are going to go up, rather than the steps jumping up and down as you get to the back door. So
that's a very cool feature.
That little delay is there by design.
What are you doing? Checking out some pictures?
Man, I'll tell you what, I knew you built some cars, but this is quite a portfolio. You built a lot of cars.
Well, we've been doing it for 18 years.
Now, I know why I haven't seen you before, because you've never invited me to your house. And these have been hidden in the house. Now Julie doesn't want to dust them, so she's throwing them out.
That is the truth. You got me.
Nice.
Thank you.